Hello and welcome once again to Market Update and Equity Analysis with me, Abayomi Obabolujo, on Stocks TV, Nigeria. I want to say a very big thank you to you for staying locked on to this channel every time. And of course, for the references that we get through you. Indeed, we appreciate your comments. And I want to encourage that we need a lot of your support. I believe that as we join hands together, we can move the Nigerian market forward. For that is the intention of our organization, to bring you not just information, but processed information you can use immediately to be a guide as far as equity investment in the Nigerian market is concerned. So today, what are we going to be looking at? Very simple. The all-share index of the Nigerian Stock Exchange for Monday, the 22nd day of August 2016, actually was up. What were the factors for and against the market? And we'll also be bringing you equities that were responsible for the kind of market performances that we saw to open the week on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. We'll be looking at the laggards and the leaders, that is the gainers and the losers, as often. And of course, if time permits, we'll be doing a little bit of technical analysis, looking at a few indicators to see what the possibilities are in there. I'm very sure that at the end of this presentation, you will have been glad you did tune in at this time. Don't go away. I will be right back. Welcome back. Like I did say, the all-share index of the Nigerian Stock Exchange started the week on a positive note, growing by 0.58%. As expected, the market capitalization also moved in the same direction as the all-share index, closing with 0.58% appreciation. As at close of trading activities on Monday, the market capitalization of the Nigerian equity market stood at 9.552 trillion naira. It was 9.497 trillion naira. As at close of business on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange on Friday, the 19th day of August 2016. Meanwhile, the market capitalization as at close of business Monday was 27,812.06. It was 27,650.32. Deals for Monday were, however, lower. If we look at that, in the last 3-4 trading days, deals had been down, and that depicts a market that's not strong. That's the truth. And then volume for Monday was also down by 31.29%. Volume was 216,174,439. When compared with the 314,603,308 that was recorded on Friday, it was 31.29% decline. Volume was marginally up, 2.09. Value was marginally up by 2.09%. A total of 2,825,921,158 naira 61 kobo. was invested on different equities on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange Monday. And so we look at some other market indicators before I come to settle down mainly on some of those equities that gained. I like to say that the number of equities on the gainers chart, when compared with those on the losers chart, were more. As at close of trading activities Monday, about 22 equities gained from 0.34% minimum gain to 7.62% maximum gain. Maximum gainer for the day was Transcorp. We are coming to look at that very shortly, because as I can tell, Transcorp at 1 naira 13 kobo, how attractive is it? And of course, UBA was up for it's now 4 naira 60 kobo. It gained 4.50%. So the least gainer for the day in percentage was Vitafoam. Vitafoam closed at 2 naira 96 kobo after gaining 0.34%. Vitafoam is one of those equities that usually sleep on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So let's look at those 11 equities that lost value on Monday. Maximum of 4.61%, which was lost by 7 up. And the least loser for the day was Zenith at 15 naira 77 kobo. Zenith was down 0.19%. If you ask me, this is not where Zenith belongs in actual fact. But we are coming to look at some of these price performances. So we look at the volume drivers and of course value drivers. These were the basic equities that had always performed far more than others on the Nigerian stock market. Actually, what this segment tells us is that if you want to do short-term investment, these are the set of equities you can look into. If you want to do probably medium-term investment, these are the set of equities you should look into. You see, oftentimes in the media, it is commonly reported deals, volume, and values. These figures are not just being released for the fun of it. Right? Now, deals tell of the number of transactions that take place. For example, one person 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 3 stockbroking houses, 4 stockbroking houses. That is what the deals actually tell. So when you see deal, high deals, when you combine this with some other statistics, it tells you whether you should stay there or not. For example, there is a high deal, all right? Like in the case of trading activities on Monday, access was actually the highest in deals. And then you now find out that in volume, the same equity was there. FBNH was the third in deals. And then you come to volume, you see FBNH is there. Now, there's one thing that sets FBN apart from some other equities listed on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and this, I can tell, had been on when sentiment was positive for FBNH. And even now, this was in session when the price of FBN was up there, and also hasn't changed even now that the price of FBNH is very low. And what is it? It is the fact that in deals, in volume, in value, for most trading days, FBNH is there. And what does that suggest? Either that the price of FBNH is high, people are interested in selling, people are interested in buying. Whether that the price of FBNH is coming down also as it is, FBN is attractive, people are selling, people are buying. That is a mark of a good stock under whatever situation. And so if you want to trade in stocks, for those that are calling, they want to know how to do short-term trading on the Nigerian market, the quality of equities you should invest in are those that you see are common in deals, are common among volume drivers, and those that are common among value drivers. Then you relate all this with the price performances. If you go to buy equities without volume, you will see even if the earnings of the company is good and the volume is not there and the deals are not there and then the value is not there, you find out that you might get hooked. Those are the kind of equities you invest in today, and then it takes you a long time in case you want to sell to see buyer, because the volume in the first instance is not even there. So but for the market on Monday, Access was the most outstanding in deals, and it suggests that the positive earnings of Access is beginning to impact on the price of the equity on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Of course, the performance of Access for Monday was below my expectation. I was expecting something in the region of maximum 10% or 8% or 9%. Access moved up by just 4.64% or so, if I'm not mistaken. That, as far as I'm concerned, was below my expectation. And in this market, we should learn to appreciate good efforts, good performances at any point in time. Of course, someone did make a comment about Access on one of our WhatsApp group that they are allotting shares to their staff. That's not a disadvantage. If anything, it is an advantage. For example, it was on Facebook sometimes back, someone said, looking at the account of the organization, he then came to say the managing director of Access Bank is increasing his holding in the bank. And I don't know what issue it was to bring out of that. If a manager is increasing his holding in that institution, you that is not a manager should actually be investing in it, because if the manager is increasing his stake in there, putting in money, investing his own resources, his funds in the organization as reflected on the pages of their annual reports and accounts, I think that's a mark of confidence in the organization that he manages. When we were still doing private placement back in days, I did not buy the private placement of one organization. I think it would be a little bit unethical to mention, but I did not. Why? I took time to look at the private placement memorandum, and then when I read through, I found out that the major owner of the company was actually divesting. And I said to myself, if the major owner was divesting, it shouldn't be the time for me to buy. That was the only reason I did not buy that particular private placement. I also did not also buy two public offerings. One was a financial institution, the other was a communication outfit listed on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. One had even been taken up by another financial institution now. Why? Because when I was reading the prospectus, I found out that the manager, the owner of the businesses, or the majority shareholders were actually divesting. And so that was a pointer. For now, anytime when you study an account and you see that the holding of a managing director or the chairman is reducing, know that there is an issue. That shouldn't create confidence for you to go and buy. But when you see that the management, top management for that matter, is increasing the holding in that organization, its risk is becoming higher. That is a mark for you to go and buy, and that is the way equity investment works normally. So for Monday, major volume drivers include Access, Guarantee, FBN, H, Zenith, and UBA. Of course, we see Nigerian breweries, Transcorp, Wando, Guinness, and Dangote Flour among the highest 10. And then in volume, FBNH for Monday led the market, and talking about 58.622 million and 605 unit additional. Access was second, Guarantee and Transcorp, they follow, as you can see on the screen. Of course, when you talk about value, that is where the main issue is. all right? Because the truth of the matter is that a stock can have 400 days, 500 days. Yes, there are many people. But when it comes to the main issue, is the amount that was actually invested. That is the big boys, all right? You rarely will see a small fry in that segment of the statistics. So when you talk about value, that is where, as a matter of fact, not so much in volume, but in value. That is because there is measures the actual amount that was invested. So for Monday, Nigerian breweries was ahead of all others, 825.578 million. Of course, there is the small naira, 723 naira and 85 kobo on top. So guarantee was next. You see, there is something that it keeps attracting people in guarantee. It has beaten the odds. So as at this level, I'm beginning to look at guarantee that it's a special breed of stock. It's just in a class of its own. I'm very sure that those who are investing in guarantee will be looking beyond their earnings, will be looking beyond the PE ratio, will be looking beyond some other statistics. Those who believe in guarantee believes in guarantee, but that might not be the best of strategy. Aruna is a regular guest on our platforms. He keeps saying figures don't have emotion. I choose to follow figures. I don't follow name. I don't follow even size. I don't follow color. I follow figures. When I say figures, I follow. If your figure is good, we say you are good, and then we recommend you. If your figures are not comparable with others, we also make bold to say, we're not the one releasing the figures. All that we try to do is just to compare. And we are only expecting the audited second quarter report of UBA in the market. And for sure, when that comes, we'll be doing a comprehensive analysis or comparative analysis on bank stocks that listed on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So NESO was also part. But again, if you ask me, major volume drivers for the day were Nigerian breweries and guarantee. Others only went to join because of price. When you're talking about the price of NESO, for example, you are talking about 825 naira, Nigerian breweries and guarantee 25 naira, 100 naira. So the access is very low in price. So if you look at the price of access at about 560 as at market open on Monday, and then with the volume, you can see why it recorded just 239 million naira. And then 7up, FBNH, Zenith, Guinness, Dangote Cement, and UBA all in that regard. So we come to the equities that really performed extremely well for Monday. If you ask me, they are basically maybe 6 or 7, and this includes Transcorp, UBA, Itana, AECO, Access, Union Bank, Diamond Bank, International Breweries. Those are those that I will regard as good performer. You see those equities that gained 0.3, of course, to me, I will not say they performed woefully, but it's neither here nor there because it's very marginal. Of course, most people will not see it that way. They will not see it that way because it is often regarded that an appreciation of 0.1% is better than an appreciation, or a decline rather, of 0.1%. That is technically true, right? So Transcorp, yes, the second quarter report of Transcorp was poor. Of course, it was a loss. The organization lost well over 12 billion naira. Not to mismanagement, but to currency fluctuation. And that's why I keep saying, if you want to invest in an organization like Transcorp, please look away from whatever the short-term thing is doing. Look away from that. Look into the long term. Transcorp is not an equity we enter in today. And of course, for the trading on Monday, Transcorp had deals, it had volume, it has value. But then, it's not a stock that, because it's not a 1 naira stock, looking at the future and the asset base of this organization. Now, UBA, what is working for UBA is the fact that it remains the only bank stock today that is yet to release the audited second quarter report. What the market expects is 20 kobo. And so the market is looking at it at, okay, Access was able to give 25 kobo dividend interim. What was the price of Access? 5 naira, 60 kobo. So if an Access could give 25 kobo, though, then a UBA should be able to give at least 20 kobo. So let us now assume, for the sake of argument, that UBA, because if you look at UBA for Monday, how much it gained in naira and kobo was just 24 kobo. And that's 24 kobo that UBA gained amounted to 5.5%. So at this level, at this price, if UBA can report the 20 kobo earnings that has been expected, which is possible because they have done that, because an Access has done that. So if UBA goes ahead to declare 20 kobo interim dividend, we will now need to factor that to the current price of 4 naira 60 kobo. So 20 kobo on 4 naira 60 kobo, right, will give you nothing less than about 5% plus or minus, right? Maybe, but definitely more than, if we look at it, I've not calculated it, but 20% of 4 naira 60 kobo will not give you anything less than at least about 4% plus or minus. So if you now begin to compare what the dividend payout alone will give you, it's now comparable to what you earn on money market instrument. And that is why UBA is attractive at this level. And it is expected that before the end of August, the second quarter audited report of UBA will be released to the market. It could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be before the end of this week, right? So people that are entering into UBA now will probably be doing short-term thing, all right? So Access, again, 4.64% was the appreciation Monday. At 5 naira 86 kobo, Access is still largely underpriced. The book value of Access is not less than 13 naira. I've done a video on it that I've not been able to upload for one technical hitch or the other. We still hope very soon we'll be able to upload that. I don't want to focus too much on Access, but as we speak, it is one equity that one can boldly say is attractive on the floor of the Nigerian stock exchange. All right, we still see Guarantee. Guarantee has defied all odds. All right, so I think largely the forces moving Guarantee know why they're there, and I think it is basically because of shareholding structure. When you see such in the market, you just give credit to the organization because it means that it has been able to endear itself to its investors over the years. It doesn't take a day to build name. It doesn't take a day to build brand. I think likely Guarantee has been able to build brand. For those who are investing in it, they know why. Okay? And so that stands at that level. So one other equity that I think the market has not compensated well is UCAP. You see, maybe because UCAP did not factor in their special income into their current account, all right? But I don't know, there is seemingly some rumor as per UCAP in the market, maybe an interim dividend must take come or not. But again, let me quickly warn. rumor remains rumor until it becomes a reality. It is very risky investing in rumor. You wait until it becomes a reality, right? That is much as I can say in UCAP. But looking away from that, I want to say with the earnings that we saw, the market really had not so much compensated UCAP. The price only moved, I think, one day, and thereafter people began to take profit. And between then and now, we really have not seen any meaningful appreciation in the price of UCAP. So looking at those equities on the loser's chart, I think it is only Zenith that I think the market is not compensating. Zenith doesn't belong here. But let's see the way the week will end. I've got to go, but I believe that I've been able to share a little with you, particularly in this presentation. What we will do is to subscribe to this channel and like or dislike our presentation. If you dislike it, it is a message to us. It tells us that we need to operate at the best. We love it so much. If you like it, it is an appreciation of what we do. We say thank you to you. But you will also do us better if you refer a friend, a colleague, an associate, someone you are trying to mentor, as far as equity investment is concerned, to this platform. I will begin a series of investment education on this platform, and I've got so many. For example, a Abeonomics fundamental of equity price movement. What is Abeonomics? That is the theory behind performances of equities by Abayomi or Babolujo. Alright? I'm very sure many people will criticize, but don't worry, just go ahead and devise yours. The world needs you, they need to hear you. But this is what we believe in. That's why our name is TalkSword. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Alright? By the grace of God, our next meeting shall be Tuesday, the 23rd day of August 2016. Until then, I wish you the best of luck.